So let's go back. Let's see my lottery of invoices. Which one I'm going to talk next? UP Milano. Oh, that's Facebook. Oh, this is another mail. This goes to it's a lady in Milano that she's creating a Facebook competitor app. It's called Joe IP. I sent to her a copy of my lawsuit, something like, well, the government is doing nothing, but at least be aware that Facebook has all these lawsuits. It's not the paradise they believe, because now there are a lot of different companies. Everybody's trying to be Facebook now because it doesn't pay labor laws, it doesn't pay tax, pay nothing. So they are in Italy, and I said, look, at least in Italy I expect the labor laws to be respected, so I'm sending to her my case. And I said, look, I also sending to Roberta Ferretti is her name. I'm telling her that if Facebook pays me, I may invest in her company, but obviously following the laws and the rules. And okay, so let's talk about case L1000. It's Whitehall Specialties. This goes to Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin. I was there only one time. There's a lot of Irish people there. So this is the letter that goes to Alton Tallman. My first contact with Alton Tallman, she's the export manager of Whitehall Specialties Cheese in Wisconsin. That was in 2011, like 10 years ago, and I wanted to buy cash $1 million worth of cheese from Wisconsin. And then I don't know really, now, 10 years later, I believe that she twisted the story around. Like, I don't know how they operate, but she said, no, I don't want to. She didn't say that. She said that I had to buy that through the distributor in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, because I'm based in Miami, in the United States. As Valley Group Industries USA, and then she, with all these negotiations, was Steve, the guy there in Sunny Morning, which is their distributor in Miami. I ordered actually I was about 4 containers of cheese. That was 2012. But then at the time of processing the shipment, Alton Tallman, what she did, she twisted the prices around. So instead of, like, they want just to take all my income. Like, this was after 3 months of negotiations, and then obviously I couldn't ship, and then that's how the relationship with Whitehall Specialties Cheese started. And then, okay, I left all this business on standby, trying to understand for what reason Alton Tallman said she was not going to process $1 million worth of orders. And because I ordered 100 containers of cheese, we're going to ship 8 to 10 containers every month, paying cash. But then she made me talk to these people in Miami, which was fine. I tried to do business with them, but then they twisted the figures around, and like, what is this? There was an inflation, At the time of processing the shipment, they say, oh no, now the price is different. Okay, and then, so this is case L905-19. And then, after 10 years of negotiations and all that, lots of things happened. And one thing was that I was at the trade show in Dubai. Go Foods is when somebody from Whitehall Specialties Cheese came, saying, now we can do business with you, but through this distributor in Texas, which is Wisconsin Finest Cheese. And then I'm like, okay. So then we start buying this cheese through Jamie Williams in Texas, Plano, Texas. And then in 2000, after years of investment on my side and hard work and traveling the world with the samples of this cheese and everything, we start to make the shipments from Plano, Texas. Until 2018, we reached the figures of about $4 million worth of sales, which I have reduced now to a symbolic, only 1 container every month, 6,000 cases. Again, waiting when are they going to process the payment and terminate the contract. And then let's go to this case. So they're sending the letters now, and again, it's the same principle. Okay, you do not just terminate a contract simply saying it's terminated. You have to fully terminate, which means processing the payment. And then in 2018, I made an offer to Whitehall Specialties and their representatives in Plano, Texas, Wisconsin Finest Cheese, saying, let's just pay the current transactions. Well, I think it was about $47,000, and they didn't pay. And okay, so if you don't pay, it means the contract's not terminated. So I'm still associated with Whitehall Specialties Cheese. And again, I got a response on Friday from Mark Berg from Whitehall Specialties Cheese with a blocking message that he decided to block my emails. And okay, so I sent by post. Again, then we go to the politics. It's like the police of Texas, the police of Wisconsin, the American Embassy in Buenos Aires, the American Embassy in Dublin, the American Embassy in Abu Dhabi, others in Washington DC also, the Better Business Bureau, all of them, they have all this paperwork in their hands. For what reason this case has not been fully terminated? And then when you go, okay, is there any chance that the police of Texas pays for this bill? So I'm going to build out the police of Texas, because I went even face to face to Plano police with all my paperwork, all my documentation. I'm like, why the police of Plano took the decision to overpower my instructions, protect and not prosecute Jamie Williams and his family there, and these cases are still not closed. For okay, is there any chance the police of Texas covered this bill? And then luckily you guys come to a solution between the police of Texas and Mark Borg in Wisconsin, Otto Tallman in Wisconsin, Jamie Williams, Logan Williams, Carolyn Williams, everybody happy there, American to American. Maybe Jewish Messianic to Jewish Messianic, because sometimes I understand there is a religious conflict, okay? We in Europe, we have more things in common with Native Americans than we do with the Jewish Messianic, okay? Why? Because we are altruistic. We believe that when we care for other people's problems, we're caring for our own problems. They're very European. It's called altruism. And I understand that the Jewish community understand that as enabling. They do not understand that as a blessing. And I believe that's the point of conflict where we never reach a solution. But I have 3 assessors of empathy that they can work. It's fantastic that they can talk to the Jewish community how to understand different people and how different cultures exist, and explain altruism. And that does not mean they have to convert to Christianity, for example. That does not mean that, but at least we have a more peaceful world when they do understand other communities. And that's why I go with this cross-cultural problem, which is like, and then I understand the difficulties, because I do business with Orthodox Jews, and with the Orthodox Jewish community, it's easier because they are Jewish when they come in, and they're Jewish when they come out. Like it's a more black and white relationship. Okay, but once you do business with the Jewish Messianic, what I assume is the case of the Williams is, in Europe for us, what matters is who you are, not who you show off you are. So even if they celebrate Christmas and all that, like, you are Jewish because you think you operate your work as a Jewish person. So talking is cheap, actions matter. So Jewish Messianic is Jewish for Europeans, but the Orthodox community say they are not Jewish because they celebrate Christmas. And that's the confusion, but I believe they are Jewish, and I believe the Jewish community has to have a solution plan for the Jewish Messianic. I don't think the Jewish Messianic were orchestrated, and there are millions of Jewish Messianic all across the world. In America, the most common is the Jewish Messianic with Jesus Christ. In Thailand, is more Jewish Messianic with Buddhists. In Tripoli, Libya, is more Jewish Messianic with Mohammed. So it's all this contradictory existence of selling yourself as Christian and acting as Jewish, and that causes a lot of confusion. But that's not my problem, that's the Jewish Messianic problem. I have already sent my offer, which is the termination contract, which I accept the termination contract, but please pay your bill. You pay and we close the contract. How come you close the contract? By your own will, because it was Jamie Williams and Mark Berg, they took the decision to terminate the contract with me, even with service with millions of dollars in sales. Even if I came to them offering, that was $1 million, 100 containers of cheese, $1 million in cash, because that was wire transfer, was cash. And they said, no thanks, and then they twist the story around, they make me go, and then at the end of this guy, it's something like they don't give credit to me, I give credit to them, and now because they say they don't give credit to me because they say I'm not paying, and then I'm a scammer and boss or whatever, and then you give credit to them, and now they're the ones who have to pay me, and they don't pay, so it's a no situation. Hopefully it's going to come to an end. And I believe it's going to be with the assistance of the government of the United States, the government of Texas, and the government of Wisconsin. I think the three of them, because this is not Florida. I'm the customer, because I'm based in Florida, but I'm the customer. It's not my fault that I trust Texas. I trust Wisconsin. I thought the United States was a serious country, and I trusted the institutions. Okay. But now that the institutions have overpowered me and took the decision not to prosecute Jamie Williams, not to prosecute Mark Burke, not to prosecute Otto Tallman, like, okay, pay the bill yourself. It's your choice. Because that's domestic matters. I do not understand for what reason the police of Texas is protecting Jamie Williams and Logan Williams. But is there any chance to just pay the bill and let me go? That's the case. Okay, L905-19. It's been disputed for 2 years now. Okay, the bill is really big now, and okay, keep sending. This bill goes to Otto Tallman straight to Wisconsin. This is the physical bill that's going there. All right, cheers.